All the disrespect before you play, better button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check fam? We are back once again. It is Monday. We got a full week of checking these buttons. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We had so much hype action. And as always, we got the chapters and links down below if you guys want to click around to a certain subject. We got an action-packed episode of Button Check today. We are covering it all. So please hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for helping the channel grow. We're about to get into it. Hope you're having a good day because you already know it's about to get better. Let's go.
Doing Renson.
He just like me. Just like me, bro.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
He's the GOAT. He's the fucking GOAT. Are you serious? You can't win this. You can't come back from that. You cannot come back from that. Oh my God.
It's over.
Dude,
Oh my God.
Dude, SoCal is actually the worst influence.
SoCal is so fucked, man.
Dude, he's actually the worst influence on him. He's like, yes, my first major top 8. It's time to.
He's laughing.
Yes, healthy. Let's fucking go.
Oh my God.
The life lead in the side switch.
Yeah, if
Last chance here. Oh, big whiff. No duck.
Nice.
Oh, and that'll do it. Emily is your Frosty Faustings 14 champion for Tekken 7.
Wow, incredible stuff, Emily. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I know how much she has wanted this, and this is incredible. She has
wanted it. She has deserved a true offline major win, and what a way to do it, too.
Yeah, absolutely, and in such dominating fashion too. Even up until the very end, Emily just seemed unstoppable.
I mean, like I said, she got sent to losers pre-time.
Look at what this is. Catfight pulled up with Cheerios, bro. He got the Cheerios on deck. And he also got the.
I'm trying to be sponsored by Kellogg, you know?
Kellogg's hit this man up. Look, he's cooking, bro.
Look at this zoning, huh?
Oh my goodness.
All right, now we're to the first set of buttons that need to be checked. So this is going to be basically broken up into 3 categories since it's so much, right? Some of you saw the hot clips, some of the hot moments over the, the weekend at Frosty Faustings. And now we're going to talk about some of the deep shit, some, good, the bad, and the ugly. Basically, those are the 3 categories, the good and the bad and the ugly. So we're going to start off with the good. Okay, so as far as the good, in Frosty, right, it was a huge tournament. A lot of people were excited to be back offline. There was COVID restrictions and testing and yada yada, health concerns and all this stuff, but they still, certain tournaments like CEO that just happened not too long ago, they still wanted to do something for the community, so they made it happen best they could. So with Frosty, I was scouring everywhere. I was looking left, I was looking right, I was looking right down the middle, and I was like, you know what? I did, just honest to God truth, I did see a lot of good reports. Testimonies to read like this saying, "Thank you, Frosty, for easily one of the best tournament experience I've had, and under the pandemic at that, I got to meet a bunch of friends from across the country and perform the best I have ever at a tournament. I'm on my way to one of those medals next year." Mr. Davis posted this as well, saying, "Frosty Faustings was an amazing event. I had a lot of fun as part of the staff. Happy to help where I can. Awesome to see the FGC family again." And then on a funny note, I see CEO Jabali, right? Y'all know Alex, right? He went there and he competed. After that, they posted this saying, "We'd like to congratulate our sponsored player, Bailey, for his amazing performance across multiple games at Frosty in Chicago this weekend. We are extending his 13-year contract with CEO Gaming as a result and can't wait to see where he places next year." And you see his results. And look, he actually got decent results. Look, Street Fighter V, where it goes down to Third Strike, and CVS 2. So it goes down, and he obviously looks like he's still a competitor. I actually remember him before CEO. Like when I first came into the FGC, I knew him as a competitor. I mean, not personally, but I knew him as a competitor. And then I was like, okay, CEO gradually started to blow up. But the funny thing is I was like, wait a minute, are you not CEO Gaming? Like the people that made this post. So people started responding, like, you know, just like basically posting memes of him giving himself an award and whatnot, thinking this was hilarious. So I thought it was funny as hell. Believe it or not, Punk to God, like we just did a last video on him, right? As far as like being pissed off because there was no headphones, yada yada. Y'all saw the video. If not, a link is in the description. Anyway, he actually made a post since then right here saying Frosty will remain the best tournament ever. I love this tournament so much. Hopefully everyone can attend one day, coming from me who hates tournaments. It's absolutely amazing. Didn't do well in fighters, but that's my fault. I will bring a headset. Or I'm sorry, I didn't bring a headset. And I think somebody responds saying, sounds like you're drinking or something like that. But yo, that's actually pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Because he went from complaining, and instead of shitting on the tournament or just being bitter for holding that L or being knocked out early in fighters, especially after there was all this hype around it from acoustics, he actually was like, yeah, this is my favorite tournament. You know what I'm saying? I had a great experience and it was my fault I didn't bring a headset. So, I mean, that's what's up. And on that note, as far as like, you know, things that stood out from the tournament, big up to the homie Crimson, man. Once again, tagging me in a hype moment right here, posted this saying, hypest moment of this match. And I think I saw Justin posting on it as well, saying, I'm surprised more people are not talking about this. And thank God it wasn't me. But check out this clip. It was dope.
Oh, they're the threat on both sides.
Yo!
Woo!
Chun-Li whiffed there. I thought that was definitely a 720.
Right? Okay.
Oh, now we're in chip situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the little forwards. He's looking for it preemptively. That's what you got to do if you're going to be parrying SAT. Hold on.
Oh. There it is.
Oh! No!
Nasty!
No!
No way!
No!
What?
Okay, now into the next set of buttons that need to be checked. We did the good, and there was obviously good. We can't deny that. Right now to the bad. I saw some of the bad things that stood out. One of the major bad things that stood out, which we'll cover, is first of all, somebody started giving reports of somebody pulling the fire alarm. Like right when they got there, we're like, holy shit, we've only been here like half a day or something like that, and somebody done pulled the fire alarm. And other people were like, well, they did the same thing at CEO, but at least at CEO, it wasn't somebody at the tournament, it was somebody at the hotel that did it. But in this case, it was probably somebody at the tournament from the way it looks. So people started getting a bad taste, like why are we so immature and shit like that when it comes to tournaments? Now that's not the biggest thing, pulling a fire alarm. Now don't get me wrong, that's a fucking, isn't that like is it a felony if I'm not mistaken? Like in the eyes of the law, in the circles, the spectrum of things, obviously it's a big thing. But as far as like the FGC tournaments and things going down, there's been a lot worse that has happened is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, we have that pulled fire alarm, right? But that's not one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things that I saw is people were getting pissed off because they felt like their game was getting treated like that redheaded stepchild. You know what I'm saying? They were like, we're tired of tournaments looking at us with the lack of respect and not putting us on stream. Mainly, I think it was the lack of streaming for Street Fighter V, for Tekken, and for fighters. I saw the fighter community, you know, Dragon Ball, they were very vocal, like, I am tired. We had like 200 entrants or something like that. Where's the love? Why are we not on stream? We're tuning in to see this action, but y'all are not giving us that spotlight. Ace King off Suit actually brings up perspective as well, which starts another debate on the same topic right here, saying, I've seen lots of people disappointed by the lack of stream time for Street Fighter V Tekken fighters at Frosty, and it made me realize how different this edition feels. Frosty has always put the spotlight on guilty BB/Melty. Thing is, it's usually not a big deal for fans of the big games because Frosty was the exception on the calendar. You could always wait for NCR, SCR, Combo Breaker, CEO, Summer Jam, and they'd be in front and center again. Without those other events, this is a massive event for everyone. Getting left out hurts, but it hurts even more when there aren't many offline events to look forward to. Stream time is not an infinite resource. Someone is always going to get the short end. Side note, trying to remember the order of those offline events on the calendar was always way harder than it should have been. I'm still not sure about NCR and SCR. Then you got, of course, some that agree and disagree right here saying, let me know how it feels to be in the corner of the ballroom. But yeah, expecting this to show off the bigger games when they don't obviously know the legacy is something. Patrick Kelly responds as well saying, yeah, some of it is fair criticism and some of it is just baffling. They have 7 different streams. Is that not enough? Events would obviously love to stream every single pool if they could, just not how it works. And some saying, I was disappointed the first time I watched Frosty like 5 years ago, quickly learned it's primarily an anime tournament and fully expected limited Street Fighter every year. Someone by the name of Sam says, it's called Frosty Faustings for a reason, and then puts the meme down below. Then I noticed none other than Perfect Legend post on this as well, which this tweet seemed to go pretty viral. Definitely caused a lot of talk, right? A lot of debate on both sides from this. Right here he posted this saying, Frosty Fighter sounds basically like a dumpster fire or a trash fire. Laggy setups, no stream, no sound, online looking like the future every day. $300 plus fight, $100 a night for the hotel, $100 venue plus $10 entry to play on laggy, no sound setups with no streams. You can get a better experience at home for $0. Then of course the FGC, as you can imagine, starts to kind of weigh in. I see some people disagreeing with this, saying, well, what are you talking about? The C in FGC stands for community. You trying to cut out the community? Like, some people only like the FGC because of the community. They're like, the offline experience is what helps us grow or what helps us keep that love. Me personally, I can agree with that. Like, I didn't know how big of a deal would it be, or it was, I should say, until I actually started to go to some of the tournaments. Some of them were local, some of them were big like Evo and whatnot. And I really, you know, obviously some of them were better than others, but I have to admit, some of them literally changed my life. Like, when I think about greatest or best moments that stick out in my life, some of those tournaments, like the good times that we had, the laughs, the moments, the people I got to meet, they actually stick out to me. Now, obviously, I haven't been in the game long as Perfect Legend or nowhere near as many tournaments as he's been to, a lot of the pros has been to, just speaking from my own experience. But, I mean, this has been a debate before, you know, where people are talking about, man, you got to spend so much money. It's so expensive. And people feel like sometimes at the end of the day that the cost is not worth it, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they feel like the tournaments are dropping the ball or if there's like a negative experience involved. You know, I saw some people post saying that they're willing to bet eventually the online will become the standard for qualifiers and that only the finalists will be the ones attending live events, which in this case, they'll be able to run better since they won't need as many stations as pools require. And then PL responds saying, when I said this a year ago, they called me a madman, which that kind of makes sense, right? As far as like the future, maybe not like now or maybe not like next year, but it does sound kind of reasonable when it sounds to like games possibly getting better netcode and being played on PC and all that other stuff to where like we're online and who knows how much further we're going to be online. I mean, it seems like it's not going to end anytime soon, but it seems like that might be the future, you know what I'm saying? As far as like everything is going to be online, but when it comes to the actual finals or grand finals or whatever the big shebang is, that will actually be offline and the winners will fly in. I don't know how that'll affect things. It's hard to think that way now because it's so new to us and just thinking about that concept because, you know, all these tournaments that we're used to, this literally just happened, we're in the second year of this. We're only in the second year of this, so our minds are trying to still get used to this whole, you know, this whole online mentality of how the FGC is trying to work. So it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I've seen locals dwindle, some of them are still popping, but obviously things are changing in a big way. You know, Evo, I think Evo will always be there. I don't see that ever going away. Hasn't came back yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come back this year as well, but you know, remains to be seen. And for them last buttons that need to be checked, the ugly. So we have the good, bad, here's the ugly. I noticed this post. Now take this one with a grain of salt because as much as I looked, I didn't see like one concrete post that would confirm it. But there was so many reports over the weekend that somebody actually stole one of the prize pots. And it seemed to go kind of viral, like everybody was talking about it, but it almost seemed like it was like it almost seemed like everybody that was posting about it was like, so I heard this, so I heard that. I didn't see one post that actually said, oh, this is how it happened. But let's dig in real quick. So it started right here. This is the first post right here saying, if you steal the FGC prize pools, or if you steal FGC prize pools, don't ever come to my events. And I'm not saying that's where it originally started, but that's where I first saw it. And then over the course of the day or so into the next day, I saw people still talking about it. Then people responding saying, what happened? Did something happen at Frosty, or did someone steal from the NYC Tekken? And then underneath that, it says, apparently someone's stolen the Street Fighter 2 pot at Frosty. Fucking insane. Then that goes viral. Everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? How the hell does this happen? What's wrong with people? Did they find out who got it? They need to lock that shit down. How does somebody, I think that's one of the biggest questions, right? How do you steal pot at a major or something like a big event like this? How do you even walk away with it? Aren't you supposed to like give them a check or something like that? But I think one of the things that sticks out, it says Street Fighter 2. So I imagine if it's one of the smaller games or smaller, you know, tourneys on the side or whatever, maybe they just have like a cash envelope like some tournaments do. But even with that being said, like a lot of people are saying, how the hell does a pot get stolen? Bottom line is, we hope whoever did it or tried to do it, because I don't know if it actually was stolen or if they just tried to steal it, needs to get dealt with. And then right here, I see somebody by the name of Flair_G say, yo, Frosty sounds like misery right now. How the hell does someone steal a prize pot and pull the fire alarm in the same event? That it is, ladies and gents. Definitely let me know how you're feeling. Thank you guys for all the amazing love. Thank you for tuning in. There's definitely a lot to unpack, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I wanted to cover it all because usually at tournaments, you always have the good and the bad, and the good and the bad and the ugly. Either as much as you prep, as much as the TOs, and you have, you know, it takes a damn army, a village. It takes so many people to make things run smooth, and there's always gonna be headaches. I've seen it behind the scenes, and I've seen it as a competitor. It just seems like there's always gonna be something, and you know, TOs can only do so much. And it sucks because sometimes you have people that will come in. We've seen it time and time again, right? I've seen it over the years where people will steal fucking, like, they'll steal the consoles, they'll steal cameras, they broke into cars outside to steal equipment. There's some fucking thieves around here. Maybe they're not necessarily FGC, but they know there's some shit going on. Maybe I could steal some shit inside that shit. People will steal shit. But what I'm trying to say with all of this is I also wanted to point out the good, because we can't deny there was definitely a lot of people that went that had a good time. There was people that went that said, yo, this is gonna be a memory for the rest of my life. This is my favorite tournament, which was surprising when I read that Punk actually said that after his experience. He was like, yo, this is the best tournament. And then you have the issue with the streaming, and some people are like pissed at the lack of streaming. They're like, yo, this is not the way to be. Others are like, well, this is kind of how they've always been. But like Ace said, feels a little different this year because without the other tournaments like NCR or SCR, Combo Breaker and whatnot, it just feels like those other games we're used to getting magnified or getting the shine. We're not seeing so much shine as we're used to like the other years. That it is, one more again. Thank you guys for all the amazing love. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want more news, because we're coming at you harder than ever this year, 2022. See y'all soon. If not tomorrow, definitely the next day. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Taste the honey, then you lose some kind of naughty. It's a honey, I don't know. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.